Good morning, all of you. In today's session, we are going to start next unit, Unit 5, Human Eye and a Colorful World in 10th class chemistry. We are making series of videos on 10th class chemistry. In this today's session, we are going to discuss about human eye and a colorful world. The topics going to be covered in today's session will be least distance of distinct vision and also structure of human eye. Here is the clear description about human eye and various parts whichever present in the human eye, everything is mentioned in this. We will have the detailed discussion about this human eye and also function of each and every part which are present in the human eye, right? Let us enter into our actual concept. So light and its characteristics. So when we see the earth, whatever energy forms available on the earth are given by the fundamental source called sunlight. Sun is the source of energy, source of radiation. Continuously energy will be emitted by the process called nuclear fusion reaction. Two hydrogen atoms when get combined, formation of helium is possible. Along with that, large excess of energy will be emitted in the nuclear fusion reaction. So same will be carried in sun so that continuous emission of energy is possible in the form of sunlight, solar energy, right? Hence, we can say sunlight is the heliocentric one, and sunlight when falling on the Earth's surface, it is in the form of electromagnetic radiation. Means that solar radiation is associated with electrical and magnetic vectors which are moving, which are oscillating in the perpendicular manner. So in the earlier classes, you already have the idea about refraction of light. The phenomenon of refraction have been studied in your earlier classes. So let us have a glance on this refraction. Refraction stands for change in the direction of light wave by passing from one medium to another. When we are taking a straight pencil dipped into this transparent glass having water, right? So pencil is in straight manner, so it is a straight object. When it dipped into the glass of water, you can observe that so it is showing with a certain angle. So some bend is observed when it dipped into water. When you discard from water, what happens? Again, it looks like a straight object only. What is the reason for this? Because when light initially it is present in the open atmosphere, that is the gaseous medium. When dipped into water, it entered into another medium called a liquid. So from gas to liquid, when light is passing, it moves with certain angle. It moves with certain bend. So that is known as refraction of light. From one medium to another medium, when light waves are passing, so there is a change in its path, change in its direction, change in its angle will be possible. The process is called refraction of light. Now let us see important characteristics of light and its properties. Light is the combination of electrical and magnetic waves, and this electromagnetic radiation is classified into different fragments based on its energy. Highest energy form of electromagnetic radiation is cosmic rays, and the second most will be gamma rays, followed by X-rays will be there, ultraviolet radiation, visible radiation, infrared radiation, microwave, and the least energetic one will be radio waves. Telecommunication system purely working on this radio waves only, right? Cosmic rays which are present in the space, and space navigation mainly utilizes these cosmic rays. Gamma rays. Gamma rays are neutral in nature, which are very essential in the treatment of cancer and related diseases. X-rays. X-rays also having medicinal applications. We will use X-rays for in order to identify bone skeletal structure, and also having various industrial applications also. Next is about ultraviolet. Ultraviolet light is the, though it have environmental impact, so ultraviolet light is used for the sterilization, which used to kill the pathogens pathogenic microorganisms, and also used to treat the disease called jaundice, right? So even so many applications also present for this. Next is about visible light. Visible light is very essential to observe all the objects which are present in our surroundings. Our eye is able to capture this visible region only. That's the reason why we are able to see all the objects which are present in our surrounding regions. Infrared light. Infrared light is so next level of this visible region. So this is very essential. Infrared light is used in the defense forensic system in order to find out fake currency notes. So all these are found, all these applications found by this infrared light only. Microwave region. So whatever mobile applications we are using, right? So those are mainly working based on this microwave region. That is the wireless communication system, which mainly working on the signals which captured from this microwave region. And next is about radio waves. Television, radio, and other wireless telecommunication systems are working based on these radio waves. And these radio waves are essential tools for structure identification in research. So in this way, different fragments of the solar radiation have different distinct applications, and this is very essential for the survival of living organisms. So sunlight is coming continuously and it can be bisected into various forms, and we can consider sunlight is the main important fundamental source of energy. From that only various forms of energy present on the earth will be transformed, right? So whatever energy we are gaining, that is coming from this solar energy, sunlight only. Okay, so plants are able to synthesize their own food materials, and they use to store the sunlight in the form of carbohydrates that entered into the living organisms through the ecosystem, and it can be transformed from one living organism to another. So in that way, energy can be transmitted, and even whatever energy sources available on the earth, those are the transformed form of solar radiation only. So let us see the characteristics of light. Intensity of light. Intensity of light stands for the power of radiation energy distributed in the unit area. How much power is there? So from the source light is coming. So sometimes the light coming with the weak strength, sometimes light coming with the strong strength. The power of radiation energy dispersed in the unit area. So for example, let us take 1 meter region. In that 1 meter region, how extent of light will be dispersed with how much strength? That is known as its intensity. This intensity mainly depends upon the distance it is traveling and the angle it is able to disperse. If it is dispersed in the maximum angle, that means maximum sphere, its intensity will be lowered because light is distributed in the larger region. If larger region occupied, the strength will be somewhat reduced. And if it is able to travel for longer distance, its intensity will be lost. That means its power of radiation will be somewhat reduced, because while traveling, some of the light will be wasted with the surrounding regions. That's why final source of acceptance of the light will be somewhat reduced. In that way, these two are the important factors which influence intensity of light. Next is about frequency. Frequency stands for number of light waves which are passing through the fixed medium in a unit time, right? So let us assume here is the example for that kind. Let us take the fixed point here. Through that fixed point, light waves are passing continuously. Let us assume unit time will be 5 minutes. Within 5 minutes, how many waves are passing through that point is known as its a frequency. It is measured in hertz. So here, two waves are considered. These two waves are passing through the fixed point. In the first case, number of waves are somewhat less. In the second case, number of waves are more. In the single given time, that means unit time, in the first case, number of waves passing are less. Hence, we can say this is of lower frequency, and second case, this is of higher frequency. So this is another characteristic to define light. Wavelength of light. Wavelength of light is defined as when light is passing in the form of waves, light having the dual property, One is particle nature and either is wave nature. When light is oscillating in the form of waves, the distance between the two consecutive peaks, otherwise two consecutive troughs, is known as wavelength. So when we measure the distance between these two peaks, this is known as wavelength. Otherwise, in between two troughs, that is also known as a wavelength. It is measured either in nanometers or angstroms. Now, let us discuss about various lenses which are used to capture this light. Okay, so one is convex lens, second is concave lens. Convex lens stands for when an object placed in infinity distance. So this convex lens is used to give the real image of that one, but in the inverted manner. We will get the real image of that particular object, but in the reverse manner, inverted manner, and always that size of the image will be diminished. That means smaller size of the object will be visible by using these convex lenses. Always convex lens is able to give inverted picture. Let us see here. When we observe this convex lens, what happens? You are able to see the object which are present in very far distance, but that is represented in the form of inverted manner. So this is the function of convex lens. Whereas concave lens considered, when we observe concave lens, what happens? It is the type of lens which used to diverge the straight line beam coming from the source of diminished and upright. Okay, so by using concave lens, you will get the picture of upright and the strength of that picture. That means image size will be diminished and virtual object is generated. That kind of lens is said to be a concave lens, right? So concave lens are used especially in the vehicles, that may be two-wheeler, four-wheeler. Those side mirrors are made up of these concave lens which used to give the visualization of another vehicles which are coming in the close proximity. And always their surface will be in the curved manner, right? So these lenses are very essential to visualize the objects which are present in the longer distance, and always the image generated will be vertically upright. So whatever the object shape is there, same kind of object picture will be visualized in this concave. Whereas in convex lens, inverted, that means reverses picture will be observed. Now let us see what is the human eye and how it works for visualize all the objects present in our surrounding regions. So human eye is considered as a sense organ. It is directly connected with the optical nerve, which used to give the information of objects which are present in the surroundings to direct the brain. So that used to react with the light and gives us the vision. So this sense organ used to observe the light which present in our surroundings. In completely dark region, these organisms are not able to work because human eye purely works in the presence of light. So in the presence of light, they are used to observe the objects present and colors which are present in surroundings and used to give the vision, right? Always these sense organs working based on visible light only. Even though various fragments of light are there, but only visible light can be utilized for this human eye visionary nature, right? So here we have retina, that is the important part present in this eye. Where retina will be there? So just backside of eyeball, you can find that retina, and retina is composed of rods and cones. So these two are present, rods and cones, which are used to capture the light present in our surroundings and used to visualize the object. Okay, so that visible light can be utilized to give the vision to our human eye. So eye signal information which used by the brain to elicit the perception of color. You can identify the colors present in our surroundings, shapes of the object, size of the object, how extent the depth is there, and what movement they are doing, and other features can be visualized by using this visible light. So it is a part of, human eye is the part of sensory nervous system. Human eye is the part of sensory nervous system. What is the main function of human eye? The outer layer which is present in the eye is called cornea. Cornea with the help of lens. Cornea is in contact with lens. So this lens is also very important part. In order to concentrate the light present in our surroundings, this lens will be utilized. It's used to give the resolution of that image. Okay. So cornea and also lens together works, and the light rays can be emitted into retina. Now that retina will analyze light, and that will give the information in the form of electrochemical impulses to optical nerve. Now that transported into brain. This is about the transportation of the information from outer layer of eye to inner brain. So cornea first take the information which is present in our surroundings. So now lens used to concentrate the light and segregate that information. From this lens now the information transported into retina, which is present in the back side of eyeball. The retina will convert light energy into electrochemical impulses, and that information pass to optical nerve. From that optical nerve, information now move on to brain. Let us see. Functions of human eye helps to see the images longer and shorter distances. We are able to see the images which are present in our close proximity, and up to certain distance without any complication, we are able to see the objects which are present in our surroundings. Okay. So now let us see what are the functions of human eye to visualize the objects. Here we have cornea and lens. They are working together and they are used to get the signals from in the surroundings. They both working like a single thin layer. So cornea along with lens working like a single thin lens which used to absorb the light present in the surrounding. For clear vision, to get the real image, projected light, so light sensitive retina will be there. So the light falls on that retina, and in order to get the clear vision, the distance between the outer lens to inner retina, fixed distance should be there. The optimum distance required is 2.5 centimeters. If this distance is fixed, so it will be possible to get the clear vision, and also real-time image will be generated without any blurredness. You are able to see the objects clearly, right? And the lens of eye adjusts the power. So what lens will do? If you are seeing light in very brightness, if you are seeing light in the darkness, in both the ways, these lenses used to adjust the power so that the clear vision of objects are possible. Some of the articles are present very far distance, some other present very near to us. This lens will adjust the visionary property and power will be adjusted so that we are able to see all objects without any complication. So lens used to adjust the power in order to visualize longer, shorter distance objects. Now, center of the image falls on the fovea, which has the greatest density of light receptors, greatest acuity in the visual field. Okay, so light when entered into eye, so now it falls on the fovea. What fovea will do? Fovea is associated with light receptors. Light receptor stands for the organ which having tendency to absorb the light, which used to accumulate the light, is called a light receptor. This fovea is a combination of light receptors where absorption of light is possible. Now, the eye produces real image on the retina. So here, if you see this object, the image of this one will be reflected on this reflected on this retina, which is present just backside of this eyeball, right? So this image clarity, image quality will depends upon lens focal length. Lens focal length is nothing but distance between this retina to object, that is called focal length. So if focal length is in the suitable position, you will get the quality image on the retina, so that vision will be very clear, right? So this process of adjusting focal length is called accommodation. If you are adjusting focal length in a proper way to give the proper vision, clear vision, now that is in the exact position, the process is said to be accommodation. For close vision, eye is fully accommodated and it's the greatest power, right? So close vision in the sense, if you want to see the objects in the closer proximity, very near to you, now it will adjust, highest power will be adjusted. So if we have the objects a very longer distance, need not to put that much extent of power. So power is required is very less. In that way, accommodation will be carried where adjustment of power is possible based on the distance of object from the eye. Right? Here is one question. Is it possible to get clear vision of all objects in front of eye? Whatever objects present in front of eye, can you see all kind of objects? So if it is present exactly near to you, far distance to you, and with some other angle to you, can you see all the objects which are present in our surroundings? Let us see the answer. Up to certain distance only we are able to see clearly without any external aids, right? So healthy human eye is able to see up to 25 centimeters distance. More than 25 centimeters, vision will become blurred. Those objects may not be visible with normal eye, right? So that extent only we are able to see. And one more thing is angle. Our eye is able to focus till 60 degrees angle. Beyond 60 degrees, it is not possible to visualize the things. These two are the important optimum human eye visibility. Okay, distance till 25 centimeters, angle till 60 degrees only. So beyond that 60 degrees, vision will not be there, darkness will be there. Okay, so however, although near point and distance point, that is not exactly fixed. Each and every person may not have 25 centimeters as a fixed distance to get the clear vision. Some other may have more than that, some other may have less than that, because that depends upon age of the person and the visionary defects with which he is suffering, right? So, but in general, we can say 25 centimeter is the optimized clear vision limit of human being. Now, let us see what are the alternatives if our vision is suffering from the defects. So in case of defected eye, we have some other alternatives. By fixing artificial lenses, eye is itself having lens which used to adjust for the external objects, so that used to give the clear vision. But if it is not having in the position to concentrate the light and also give the clear vision, so we have to go with the help of external aids, like by inserting the artificial lenses. Those are nothing but, so what optical spectacles we can use, otherwise contact lenses can also employed in order to avoid this complication of vision. So if any visionary defects are there, we can take the help of these artificial lenses. Those may be glasses or contact lenses. Okay, so if the distance between the outer cornea and inner retina is not exactly same, that means that should be fixed actually 2.5 centimeters. If both are not in the 2.5 centimeter distance, it is not possible to get the image of the object which is present in our surroundings. Here is the simplest example. If the person suffering from myopia, what happens? Actually, what is the condition? Here is a candle. So if you are seeing that candle, the candle picture should be visualized on retina. This retina should reflect that candle picture. Then only it is possible to get the normal vision. In case of patient who is suffering from myopia, so here candle is there. If he is seeing that candle, that image is not exactly falling on retina. The image is created so away from retina only. That's why this retina is not able to capture any information. So this image is not visualized here because image is not exactly created on retina. Then how can we minimize this? By inserting one lens in between. When lens is kept in between, this lens will concentrate this light coming from a candle, and exactly it used to increase the length and image falls on the retina. So this object now clearly visible with these spectacles. So this is an alternative for defected eyes. Now we are going to perform one activity. So this activity used to find out the optimum distance up to which you are able to see, right? For that purpose, we are applying two conditions. In the condition one, so we are supposed to keep the textbook far away, as much as far away up to which you are able to read without any complication. Let us take the textbook and it is containing various alphabets. Keep the textbook away from your eye till how much distance you are able to read the textbook, that much distance you have to make, right? So let us take 10 centimeters, 20 centimeters, 25, 30, 40 in this way. Up to which distance you are able to read, that should be noted down. And we are taking condition 2. In condition 2, so let us drag the textbook so towards your eye, right? So now the textbook is very near to eye. So measure the distance, measure the minimum distance up to which you are able to read the textbook without any complication. So when we are taking the textbook very near to eye, so what is the maximum possible limit? Up to which distance you are able to read that textbook in the closure proximity? That should be noted. Longer proximity, closure proximity, both can be measured. Okay. So when will we get blurred vision? If the vision limit, we are exceeding vision limit, now the objects are visible in the blurred nature. Otherwise, if eye is in defected condition, in that case also blurred vision is possible. One is more than distance what we are able to see, that is one condition. Second is if eye is suffering from the defect, visual defect, in that case also blurred vision will be there. Okay. Now measure the distance of clear vision. Up to which distance you are able to see, that clear vision should be noted down. Okay. So same activity will be performed with various persons in order to optimize, in order to generalize this least distance of distinct vision. What we are going to find out? Least distance for a clear vision. Least distance for distinct vision can be measured by replacing one person with another. For all the people, you are going to measure the maximum distance up to which the clear vision is possible, and where you are getting the blurred vision, that is also noted down. After doing this experiment, it is very clear that till 20 feet, everybody, healthy human, is able to see without any complication. This is nothing but 25 centimeters distance, human eye is able to capture the pictures, right? So that accommodation till 25 centimeters is there. From the 25 centimeters, based on the human power, so infinite distance they are able to see. Least distance of distinct vision. Now let us define least distance of distinct vision. The distance of the object from the human eye for the clear vision with comfortable vision is known as least distance of distinct vision. Okay, what is the maximum distance till you are going to see very clearly? That is known as a least distance of distinct vision. Below 10 years of human being, 7 to 8 centimeters is this limit. For adults, it will be 20 to 25 centimeters. For Elder people, it will be 1 to 2 meters and even more than that. And we are going to perform any other activity where angle of light vision can be measured. In order to do this experiment, we are taking a retard stand. To this retard stand, one horizontal wooden piece or pipe, plastic pipe can be fixed, but that should be in a straight line. To this horizontal pipe, we are fixing in either vertical wooden or plastic pipe here, that is of 30 centimeters length. We have to measure the exact length of this pipe. That should be taken as in 30 centimeters. So this is about the experimental setup. Retard stand should be taken. A straight horizontal pipe was fixed. To that, another vertical pipe of fixed length is fitted to this one. Later, human being under observation is able to see this horizontal pipe in the parallel manner. He has to focus on this horizontal pipe. He has to expand his vision with respect to this horizontal pipeline. Later, he should try to visualize this top of this vertical pipe as well as bottom of this vertical pipe in a single time. So without changing his head or without tilting his head, he has to see top place as well as bottom place of the vertical pipe in the single instance. So we are taking 30 centimeters of length. So if he is able to see this, that should be noted down. Later, we have to replace this vertical pipe with a different parameter, different lengths. You may take 20 centimeters, 25, 30, 40, 50 centimeters length pipe should be fixed. Each time we have to measure that vision effect of the person who is under examination. In how many cases he is able to visualize top and bottom place simultaneously in the single instance. Everything should be noted, right? So take the retard stand and fix the clamp. So stick the 30 centimeter length vertically 25 centimeters away, right? Make sure your vision horizontal to the straight rod. Horizontal vision should be expanded. Try to see the top and bottom vertical rod. Top and bottom should be seen in the single instance. Draw the inference. So whether you are able to see conveniently or not, that should be noted down. Same will be repeated with various lengths of this vertical line, vertical pipe, and you have to observe in which case you are able to see conveniently. And that should be repeated with changing the person also, because we have to record with the various people. Now, we are doing another activity called angle of eye vision. So this is the continuation to the previous activity only. So the object which kept at the point AB is clearly visualized. Complete picture of object which is in the straight line kept in the proper distance AB is clearly visualized. This is the first case. What we are doing, we are going to change the position of AB to A dash and B dash. That means we are taking the object in the closer proximity to the eye. So the distance will be reduced and it is in the closer proximity. So it kept at the position of A0 and B0. When it kept at A0 and B0, it is not possible to see the entire picture of this object. Instead, some extent can be visualized. EF part is visualized, remaining will be completely blank. So if you are taking the image far away from the eye, we have to measure, is it possible to see that particular object or not, right? So if we are placing at the longer distance like CD point, so we have to understand whether this object is visualized or not. So this is mainly used to identify angle of vision. Angle of vision stands for the maximum distance where it kept, so which used to visualize the entire object without any defect is known as angle of vision.
Maximum angle to visualize the whole object. Maximum angle to visualize the whole object is known as angle of vision. So if angle of vision is exceeded, we are not able to see. So which is shortened, in that case also we are not able to see the complete picture of the object. That is called angle of vision, right? So this activity is used to observe how much angle you are able to see. So optimized angle will be 60 degrees. Human eye is able to visualize the things which are present in our surroundings without shaking the eyeball. That is 60 degrees. 60 degree till 60 degrees angle we are able to see conveniently. And the next segment of today's session is structure of human eye. The basic parts which are located in the human eye are iris. Iris is present, that is a colored bright part which is present in the eye. Next is about cornea. Cornea is the top most protective layer, thin film it is, which is present in the outer layer of the eye. Pupil. Pupil stands for dark black color dot present in the center of the eye is called pupil. And the lens will be there. Lens is nothing but a thin film which is associated with cornea. Cornea with the lens used to capture the light and used to send it to this retina, right? So next is about ciliary body and ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles are nothing but which are used to mobilize, which are used to get the flexibility of eye. Eyelids, blinking of eyelids and flexibility of this eye will be there, which is provided by the ciliary glands and ciliary muscles. In the ciliary muscles only, we are having lacrimal glands, and this is used to give the lubrication to the eye. And next is about conjunctiva. Conjunctiva is the region which is present in the surrounding of this eye, used to provide the liquid medium to this eye, so it will give the lubrication. And next is about retina. It is the important part of eye where which used to get the image of object whichever present in front of eye with the help of this cornea and the lens. So that is the purpose of retina. It is the screen of this camera. So you can say our human eye is considered as a camera where lenses will be fitted in the front of that. These lenses will capture the image. That image falls on this screen that is called a retina. Now retina connected to optical nerve which get the information from retina and sent to brain. And we have retinal blood vessels in order to supply the blood pumping to the eye. These are the major parts which are present in the human eye. Now let us discuss individual functions of each and every part present in this human eye. This human eye is considered as a visionary organ which is able to visualize all the objects and also colors present in the surroundings. Optical nerve connect this human eye with the brain. Now let us discuss components of human eye. Pupil. Pupil is the central part of human eye and it is present in the dark dot shape in the center of eyeball, right? So the function of this pupil will be, it used to concentrate the light and give the picture on this retina. And pupil will be adjusted in accordance with surrounding light strength. If light is very dark, the pupil size will be enlarged. It will be expanded. If light is very bright, pupil size will be compressed. In that way, even for longer and shorter distances, the pupil will be adjust itself in order to give the power to visualize the objects. Pupil is used to expand and compress based on the distance and also based on the strength of the light, right? So next part is about retina. Retina is the important part of this eye, where retina is the thin layer present in the back side of the eye. The purpose of retina to receive the light from the lens, and the focused light will be fall on this retina. Image will be generated on the retina, And the important condition is the distance between the outer lens to inner retina will be 2.5 centimeters. This distance should be fixed. Then only clear vision without any defect is possible. 2.5 centimeter distance should be there from retina to lens. Next is about lens. What is the lens? It is the thin film which is present near to cornea. Always it works along with cornea. It is in crystalline nature. Lens is in crystalline nature. Mainly lens used to adjust the power and also focus and concentrate the light which present in the surroundings. That light signal now sent to retina, and this lens is present very hard inside and the surroundings will be very soft in nature. Next is about cornea. Cornea is the transparent outer protective layer present in the eye. So this is the organ which able to capture the object image first. Next is about conjunctiva. Conjunctiva is the part present in the eye which used to give the lubrication of eye. If any liquid is present in the eye, then only what happens, that will be very flexible in nature. Blinking of eye, movement of eye is possible. Everything is possible without any friction, without any pain, because these conjunctiva is providing the liquid secretions in order to provide lubrication property. Mucus will be secreted as well as tears will be secreted by this conjunctiva. And one more important application of conjunctiva will be, it used to kill the pathogens, and immunity surveillance is provided by this conjunctiva only. Next is about iris. What is iris? The bright part surrounding this pupil is called iris. This iris is the unique thing, and it is present. Individual persons will have individual unique iris. So by this iris also we can identify the persons. So this used to optimize the light. By using this iris only, pupil will be expanded and compressed, so that now pupil is called variable aperture. So this iris is very essential to work this pupil in a proper way. And next is about ciliary muscle. Ciliary muscle is nothing but a circular part which is surrounding this entire eyeball is called ciliary muscles. Ciliary muscles are mainly used to protect the eye, and also blinking of eye is possible. And in this only we have conjunctiva where lubrication property will be provided. Next is about optical nerve. Optical nerve is nothing but, so it directly connected with retina, and this is the this is also called as second cranial nerve. Optical nerve is also known as second cranial nerve, otherwise cranial nerve too. Okay, what is the use of this one? It used to get the information from retina, and that will be sent to the brain in the form of electrical impulses. It used to give the information in the form of electrical impulses. And another part is retina blood vessels. Blood vessels are used to give blood pumping with the arteries and also veins. So by using these, blood circulation is possible to eye. Next is about aqueous humor. Aqueous humor is a fluid which is present in the eye. So this is secreted by ciliary muscles, and it is mainly used to give the lubrication. So trabecular meshwork and into a drainage canal. So eye, whatever waste organisms are present, those get captured by this one, and also lubrication property. Movement of eye is possible conveniently by this aqueous humor. Liquid portion of the eye is called aqueous humor. It is dispersed the entire eye in order to give the flexibility of the eye movements. Next is about, last part is about eyeball. Entire part of the circle sphere is known as eyeball. So this eyeball is having curved surface. On this eyeball only, central part is pupil, surrounding region will be iris, and in this only cornea followed by lens will be there. So backside eyeball we have retina. So these are the important parts of human eye. So by this, we completed the entire description of today's session. That is clear, distinct vision is observed. How much angle we are able to see is also discussed. So various components of human eye also discussed. Hope this session will be very much useful to you. Thank you very much for your patience listening. Thank you. Thank you one and all.